Hello there and welcome to the Super Cup preview, which is happening tonight in Istanbul, a place that holds a very special place in our heart as Liverpool fans, and it's going to be a special match. Kicks off at 8 o'clock, Liverpool versus Chelsea. I have to miss the first half because of work again, but the game will still go on and hopefully we can do the business in the first half. Now, before I get into this video, let me know what you think the lineup will be tonight and what do you think the score will be, the end result. You can say who you want as, you know, goal scorers and such like that as well, but let's get into it. So, Liverpool versus Chelsea, the big cup, a big trophy is on offer this evening. A big trophy that I prioritise over the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, any of those ones, and the Club World Cup as well. I prioritise those massively. Why? Because every year only 2 teams get to try and win this trophy. Only 2 teams. This isn't something that, you know, people can compete for. There's a, you know, you have to be the champions of the Champions League and the champions of the Europa League to be able to try and get this trophy. For me, that immediately elevates it above the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup instantly. You know, to try and get the UEFA Super Cup, it's not something that comes around very often. Not for everybody. Obviously, Real Madrid had it because, you know, they won it, I think, what, 4 out of the last 6 years or something like that, whenever they won the, so they will have, you know, they will have been accustomed to trying to get the Super Cup. But for those of us, us mere mortals, shall I say, we don't get this opportunity very often, and we need to take this opportunity with both hands, in my opinion. And I think this is a game, while I believe that it's going to be a difficult game, and I'll explain why I think that in a couple of minutes, I think that we can go out there and win this game. I think that we can go out there and win the UEFA Super Cup. And I think it would be massive for us to do so. It would show the winning mentality that we are being, you know, we're bringing back. And I think it would also give us a push for the rest of the seasons to win something like the UEFA Super Cup so early on would be huge for either team. And I think it could start to shape what happens for the rest of the season. I think it would just give the players, you know, on both sides of the coin, whoever wins or loses, I think it could ignite something for both teams, you know, whoever wins or loses this game. Now, Chelsea will probably line up differently. I expect a different Chelsea to the one that lined up at the weekend against Man United and got annihilated by Manchester United. Make no mistake, Chelsea made chances in that game. They had some troublesome moments for United. They, you know, I think they hit the post twice. Tammy Abraham hit the post. Emerson hit the post, I think it was. You know, and they did have some chances. They just weren't clinical with those chances. And United were with theirs. So the fact that United were clinical and they pretty much most of United's shots were either on target or ended up as a goal. So yeah, it's one of those things when you hear Frank Lampard saying that they played well for 60 minutes. When I was watching that whole game, and it was quite an even game for the vast majority of the game up until goals 2, 3 and 4 went in. So it's one of them. It's defensively they look very suspect. Going forward they looked quite good. You know, I have to admit they looked quite good. They created chances, you know, and if they take those chances, they will cause us problems. They will cause us problems, and they'll be looking to, you know, like a lot of teams will be now, because we have Alisson out, they'll be looking at Adrian like, right, let's test him. Let's test him and see how good he is, either from distance or whatever. And they will try and, you know, they might take a couple of pot shots here or there from distance, just trying to test Adrian to see how he reacts and deals with the situation. Now, for us, you know, I fully expect us to be coming up against like N'Golo Kante, Olivier Giroud, maybe Christian Pulisic. For us though, lineup wise, I'm going to go through the whole lineup right now. Adrian in goal, obviously we know that's going to happen, so Adrian will be in goal. Andy Robertson at left back, Virgil van Dijk at centre back. Joel Matip, I believe, will come into this game. I think he was unfortunate not to actually start the season for us, considering how he ended the season for us last year, and obviously his performance in the Champions League final. I think we will see Joel Matip in this game, and I think it'll be really good for us to see. I just want to see Matip. I like Joe Gomez, and I just think he needs a little bit more time to get himself readjusted from his massive long injury layoff that he had. And I think Matip could come in and just perform better right now. Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, and then in the midfield, I want to go with Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, and either of Gini Wijnaldum or Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain can carry it from deep a bit better, but Gini Wijnaldum is probably all round a better midfielder than Oxlade-Chamberlain right now anyway. And obviously we will be missing Naby Keita for this game because he limped out of training yesterday, which is unfortunate because I would have put Naby Keita in there just for the fact that he can be a bit physical, but he carries the ball very well. He's got, good dribbling and stuff like that, and his ball layoffs and passes is very, very good. But I think we've got the players in midfield to deal with, Naby Keita being injured. And then up front, I think, with Jurgen Klopp saying that Mane is ready to start the game, I would absolutely go with Sadio Mane, Firmino and Salah, because they all three of them looked so sharp. They looked crisp. Especially, obviously, I haven't seen Sadio Mane come off the bench for us for a long time. And when he came off the bench against Norwich, he looked like a man possessed. He looked like a man that just wanted to get straight back into the action. And I think he himself will be looking to start this game, and I think he should. In terms of, well, we're pretty much there already. In terms of performance and result, I think that if we can do the similar sort of attacking play that we linked up, against Norwich, and that we've been able to link up for the last couple of seasons, let's be honest, I think if we can go out there, really put the pressure on Chelsea's defence, because from what the formations that I saw online, I was double checking what formation that Chelsea played against Manchester United, and most of them seem to be listed as a 4-2-3-1 with Azpilicueta as a right back. You put Azpilicueta as right back against Sadio Mane, and I don't think that ends very well for that back line. I really don't. And I think the guys, if they don't bring in like Marcus Alonso at left back, an experienced guy that I think won the title with them as well, if they go with Emerson, who probably has more pace than Alonso, but I think if you don't have experience in that back line, I know Azpilicueta does, but he doesn't necessarily have the pace about him to deal with our front three. Firmino will be an absolute handful, because we know Firmino will be absolutely everywhere from midfield to being up front and in the wide positions and central as well. Salah will be he will be fearless with his pace. Mane will be, again, I expect Mane to come out like a man possessed like he did against Norwich for that little 15-minute cameo that he had. I think that they will struggle to deal with our attack. I really do. I think that we will create chances, and I think that even if they go with N'Golo Kante in midfield, I think our midfield should be able to create chances through theirs to feed the front three, and our defence should be able to help out, dealing with, Adrian. This is probably Adrian's biggest game that he's ever played, to my knowledge, I will say. To win a big trophy like this, and it's going to be like his Europe. I don't know. He's played at West Ham for the majority of the time I've known of him, so I don't know where he played before West Ham. But for me, I think this could be one of the biggest games of Adrian's career. So Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip and the back line are going to be wanting to protect Adrian as much as possible, and I think that we can go out there and do it. I think we will concede a goal. I think we will concede a goal. I think that Chelsea will create chances themselves, and they'll have a couple more senior players, maybe even like, the new signing Pulisic as well. They might start him instead of having him on the bench. They might start him in place of Pedro, or they might completely go with the same lineup they had against Man United as well, because that team did create chances. And I think we might concede. I'm expecting us to concede. I just am at the moment. I don't think we're going to concede many, but I think we will concede at least one goal. But I can see the final score being 3-1 to Liverpool. Don't know why I can see it like that, but I think that we want this trophy. We really want this trophy. I'm not saying that Chelsea don't want this trophy, but I think that we are really up for this. Becoming champions of Europe like we did last season, I just think it's monumental. I really want us to go out there, put on a good performance first and foremost, but I really want us to go out there and lift the Super Cup, because the opportunity to do so doesn't come around very, very often, and I think that we can get it done. But let me know what you think in the comments below. How do you think it's going to go down tonight? What do you think the score is going to be? And how do you think we're going to line up as well? Let me know it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.